And then when you're ready, when you're lying on your mat, bring both hands onto your belly and bring your feet out as wide as your mat and your knees together. And then just start to maybe relax the shoulders onto the floor. Let the legs become heavy. Maybe close your eyes. And just follow your breath. Breathe into the belly, into your hands. And with every exhale, let some body part become a little heavier. Let the earth support you. Let the ground support you. And then let's even out the inhale and the exhale. Very easy pranayama. So when you inhale, count your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. And then keep going in your own time. And maybe your own number. Maybe 4 feels too short. Go to 5. Maybe you count a little slower. And you only want to count to 3. Just so that the inhale and the exhale is the same length. And pause in between, just a little pause. Keep your eyes closed. And then slowly come back to your natural breath. Maybe your breath is a little more shallow right now. And then slowly walk your feet back to the midline of your mat so that the knees and your feet and your hips are in one line. And then bring your arms right beside your body. And then let's do a couple of really small pelvic tilts without a lot of, without a lot of work. So with the next inhale, let the air in and let the belly puff out. Arch that lower back. And when you exhale, engage your abs. Flatten that curve of your lower back down into the ground. Lengthen the tailbone. And then again, as you inhale and the belly puffs out, let the belly come out and arch that lower back. And then engage those abs and press your lower back down into the ground as you exhale. And again, do a couple of those in your own time. And then slowly find a spot right in between. So your lower back is just a little bit arched and the belly is relaxed. And then slowly bring one knee into your chest. Put one hand on top of the knee and then bring the other knee on top. Bring the other hand on top of the knee. And then slowly let the knees and the breath move together. So when you inhale and you create some space and the belly puffs out, you straighten your arms and let the knees go away from you. And when you exhale and the abs engage and you want to press out the air, you bring the knees into your chest. And then do that again in your own time. So exhale, you bring the knees in, and inhale, you let the knees go out. And you know, if it's exactly the other way around, don't worry about that. Just keep going. If it feels good, it's okay. It's just a little easier to let the air out and bring the knees into your chest. And then bring the knees away from you and just let the left leg go down. And bring your right knee into your chest and flex that right foot. If you want, you can stay here. You can also, with the next exhale, stretch your left leg out. If you stretch your left leg out, keep both feet flexed, very active feet. And then again, with your next exhale, you lift your head and bring the nose towards that right knee, and then slowly lower the head back down. And then slowly let that right foot go back down onto the floor. Bring the left leg in. And then interlace the fingers behind your right thigh. And then just lift up your right leg so you can see the foot. When you can see the foot, you start slowly moving your foot. So we go into flexion and extension, just a small movement. We wake up that ankle joint slowly. Now let the movement become bigger. And then you go into full extension and full flexion. You can keep the knee bent a little bit. Maybe you can hear my ankle cracking. And then slowly start circling your foot. First, one way. You can start with a small movement that becomes bigger and bigger. Try to relax the shoulders and your jaw and the forehead. And then change the direction of circling your foot. There you go. That was a nice crack. And then straighten. So stop moving the foot. Flex your foot a little, push the heel towards the ceiling and straighten that knee as much as you feel comfortable with. So we open up the back of the legs. So we can stay here. We don't have straps, so we use the hands. So if you feel like I cannot straighten my knee like that, that's absolutely fine. You keep your knee bent a little bit, right? So we just want to open up the back of the legs. If you can straighten your leg, go ahead. You can also stay with your left knee bent, or you slide out your left leg and straighten that left leg and bend your left foot. So without the strap, this is all a little harder because we have to work the muscles. We can't lean into the strap, but still we open up the back of the leg. So if your knee is a little bit bent, stay here. If your knee is straight and you feel like, I want a little more, you can walk your hands up towards your calf muscle. And if you are up for it, you can also hold on to the foot, but you don't have to, you can stay here. And then just breathe and think of opening up the back of your right leg. And then slowly, we're going to open up the leg towards the right side. So put your left hand on top of the left hip bone and slowly open your leg towards the right. I have my wall here so I can rest on the wall. So put your hand, maybe the elbow on the floor, and maybe you hold on the top of your thigh. Maybe the leg goes a little further and you hold on the outside of your knee. And maybe you don't like this one at all, then you just stay here and hold on to the back of the leg and bend in between. So my leg starts shaking a little bit. That's without a strap. So now slowly keep both feet flexed, move your leg over across to the other side. Make sure both hips are staying on the floor. Keep both feet flexed. And take a deep breath in and out. And one more. And out. Bring your leg back to the midline and bend your leg. Bend both legs and then just shake the right leg out a little bit. And then bring your right foot on top of your left knee. Now we're going to open up that right hip a little bit. So bring your left leg in and interlace the fingers behind your thigh. Now you push your left knee into the right ankle and push your right knee out a little bit. Now I don't see you, so if you feel something is not working for you, then just rest, okay? Don't push too hard. Keep breathing. That's always a good indication. If you can breathe easy, everything is okay. If the breath is like restricted, then the movement is maybe a little too much. Now slowly lower the leg back down and we switch to the left leg. So first we're gonna straighten the leg. No, we're gonna bend the knee into the chest. And if you like, slide out your right leg. Flex both feet. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out, you lift your head, nose towards your left knee. And slowly lower back down. You can bend your knee again and lift your left leg up. And now we're going to flex and straighten that left foot again. You can start with a small movement and then let it become bigger to a full range of motion. So you go all the way up and all the way down. And then when you feel like that's enough time spent flexing and bending, go into the circle. So we circle one way. And then circle the other way. All right, and then we straighten that knee or keep it a little bit bent. Up to you. You want to open up the back of that left leg. So you can keep your right knee bent and you can go from here and bring that left leg a little closer towards you. Works best with the exhale. So if you take a deep breath in and exhale out, bring that leg a little closer. If you feel like it, you can stretch out your right leg, flex both feet and stay here for a moment. Just breathe. Now, slowly we work again on opening up towards the left to open up the inside of the left leg. So bring your right hand on top of the right hip and slowly open your leg up towards the side. So you can support your leg underneath the side, the upper thigh, or the knee, or wherever you are, go a little bit higher. I think the knee is the best. Keep both feet flexed. Breathe. Now slowly move your leg back to the middle and we cross over to the other side. So I hold my hand here on the knee, keep the knee as straight as I feel comfortable with it. Keep both feet flexed and stretch the outside. And take a deep breath in and out. And slowly move the leg back to the middle, bend your knee and put both feet on the floor. And now bring your left foot on top of your right knee. And then open up the knee, left knee. And then bring your right leg in, interlace the fingers behind your thigh. Press that right knee into the left foot. Push your left knee out a little bit. Maybe flex both feet and see how that feels. So your hip should be very happy right now. Opening up that hip. And then slowly lower everything back down. And bring your knees back into the chest. And just give yourself a big hug. Lift the head. Bring the knees towards the nose. And then slowly let it back down. We come to bridge pose. So bring your feet pretty close towards the tush. And then maybe look up and see if your knees are parallel to each other, if they don't flare out. And then bend your elbows and have the palms facing each other. And from here, you press your elbows down into the mat. So we create some space around the shoulder blade. So it's almost like you're lifting up your chest. And maybe do that just a little bit and squeeze the shoulder blades together, just a little. And then bring the arms back down to the floor. Palms facing down towards the floor. Now see how your neck and how your jaw feels. So if your chin sticks up into the air like that, then bring it down towards the chest and lengthen the back of your neck. There should be enough space between the ears and your shoulders. And then from here, we take a deep breath in. We exhale everything out, engage the abs, and then start lifting up your hips halfway up. Doesn't have to be a big high bridge yet. And then slowly start rolling back down. Move that spine. And then again, inhale, maybe the lower back arches a little bit. And as you exhale, press down into the feet, into the arms, and lift those hips. And maybe the second time we come a little higher. We don't have to. We can be exactly where we were before. Just want to open up the front of the hips and lift back up. And slowly roll back down. And again, lengthen the tailbone, lift back up, and slowly roll back down. Last one, lift all the way up, and we're going to stay here. So watch the knees, the neck, the space between the shoulders and the ears. Press your arms down and breathe. Open up the whole front of the body towards the ceiling. Relax the jaw, the tongue in your mouth, and your forehead. Keep breathing. And now slowly roll back down. bone by bone by bone. Perfect. So the next bridge, we can interlace the fingers with each other underneath the hips. If you feel like that, if your shoulders are okay, and if the bridge is here felt easy to you. If this was a challenge, then stay with this bridge, stay here. So again, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out, engage those abs and start lifting up into bridge pose. And then we can wiggle the shoulders left and right and bring the hands together underneath the hips, underneath your body. So that opens up the chest even more. So watch your neck, long neck, and then maybe it pushes you to lift a little bit higher. Just do this if your shoulders feel okay with that. Don't listen to me, listen to your body, what feels right for your body. Breathe here. Enjoy the opening of the whole front body, and then slowly, if you have the fingers interlaced, bring the hands back down to the floor, and then start rolling down as slow as you can. Keep in control of the movement. Slow, slow, slow. And then bring your feet as wide out as the mat and the knees back together. Open up the arms, and we just swing the knees very slowly from the left to the right. Maybe you can hear my floor creaking. And then slowly bring the feet together and roll onto your side and push yourself up into a seated position. I can see some movement. This is awesome. I can see some people. Okay. So we have opened up the hips pretty much in every direction right now. So let's focus a little bit on the upper body, right? So bring the hands right onto your knees. Relax the shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Lift your shoulders. Exhale out. Drop them down. And again, inhale the shoulders up. Exhale all the way down. And then find length in the spine. And maybe take the fleshy bits of the sit bones so you really anchor down. Yes, I can see you guys. That's good. And then just bring your right ear towards the right shoulder. Take your time with that and don't push too far, very gently. And then slowly lift the head back up and bring it over to the other side. Lift back up. Now we bring the hands down to the mat and slowly we push the hands down into the mat. Find some more length in the spine. And now we're going to bring the right ear again to the right shoulder. And now we're going to push that left shoulder down a little further. So we feel a nice stretch right here. And then lift back up and bring the head over to the other side. Push that right shoulder down nicely. And slowly lift back up. And then bring the hands right in front of your body. And slowly walk forward. We're going to switch to the other side. Walk forward. And then just, if you want, you can keep the hands here. If this is where the stop is, that's fine. Then just let the head relax down. If you can bring your elbows down onto the floor, do that. And then just relax the whole body forward. Let gravity be your friend and help you to relax the back of the neck and the hips and the shoulders. And breathe into the back between the ribs and your shoulder blades. And then slowly lift your head and walk your hands back. And then bring the hands behind you, lean back, and switch your legs the other way around. Rest your hands on the knees. Or actually, bring the hands to the side, and we lift the arms all the way up and stretch all the way up. Exhale back down. Inhale all the way up, lift your head. Exhale back down. One more. Inhale up, look up towards the ceiling and exhale back down. Now bring your hands back in front of you and walk your hands again slowly forward. We're going to feel the stretch on the outer side of the hip. And again, let your head rest. Let the head dangle down. If you feel like you're coming very low, you can put your fists on top of each other and then maybe rest your forehead on it. That's an option. If you think that is crazy, then just stay here and relax the shoulders down, let the head relax down, and breathe in the back, in between the ribs. Let the shoulders relax down, and breathe. And then slowly walk back and come with the hands to the side again. So now we're going to come into a twist. So we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And then your left hand goes onto the right knee and your right hand goes behind you. And then let the rest of the upper body follow. Drop the shoulders down. Work with the breath. As you inhale, you grow tall and long. As you exhale, you go into the twist a little bit. Be gentle. Be nice to the spine. Don't push too far. And then slowly lift the arms back up. And we're going to go over to the other side. So bring your right hand onto the left knee. And then again, grow tall with your inhale. And let the spine stretch all the way up and down. And then when you exhale, twist. Breathe. And slowly come back down. Come back to the middle. We inhale the arms all the way back up. And again, your left hand goes onto your right knee. But now we're going to lift the right hand all the way up. And then we come into a side stretch. So you hold on to your left knee and open up the side body. Breathe into the side. And then one more breath. And then we bring the hand back down. Both hands to the side. Inhale both arms up. And then when you're ready, twist and your right hand goes onto the left knee and your left arm lifts up and we come into a side stretch. And slowly come back. And bring your arms again to the side. We do eagle arms. And then the right arm crosses over the left, right? You bend your elbows. And then if you like, you can either press the back hands together or hook the hands together. Now here, we can stay here. You can also, to intensify this a little bit, drop your shoulders down and lift the elbows up a little. And it should stretch the top of your shoulders a little. And slowly lower your elbows back down. Bring the arms to the side. Lift your arms back up. Now the right goes over the left. Bend your elbows. Hook the hands. If you feel like, I don't know what she's talking about, just hook the elbows together and press the back of the hands together, if that's okay. And otherwise, hook the hands, drop the shoulders down, lift your elbows up. Breathe. Long neck, chin towards the chest. And then slowly lower the elbows back down. Roll your shoulders back. And then lean forward and come into table. Okay, So hands underneath your shoulders, the knees are underneath your hips. Look back and see if you can see your feet. If you can see your feet, make them disappear. Also, if you feel like your head is hanging down like that, right? Then lift your head. Then also if the shoulders stick out, make them not stick out. So lift your chest. And what I always do is I overextend my elbows. So bend the elbows just a little bit in case you do the same thing. And then maybe inner rotate your inner elbow creases forward. And then here we just come into cat-cow pose. So we're gonna, for the inhale, we drop the belly down, we arch the lower back, lift the head, and then we extend all the way up around the back and engage the abs for the exhale. Open up the chest, lift the head, drop the belly down. Exhale, engage those abs, head drops down, push all the way up, and inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And last one, inhale, exhale, and slowly come back to a neutral spine, and then we lower down onto the belly. So bend your elbows and lower slowly down onto the belly. Wiggle the hips a little bit, and then from here, lift your shoulders and come into cobra. Lift your head, breathe. Shoulders away from the ears. Slowly lower down, rest your head on one side. And again, wiggle the hips a little from side to side. And slowly, with the next inhale, lift your hands. And use the back muscles to open up that chest. And as you lower down your head, you rest on the other side. Switch to the other side. Wiggle those hips. Bend your knees and windshield wiper left and right. I can see some feet moving. Awesome. And then slowly lower the legs back down. Tuck your toes under. Push into your hands and lift back up into table. And from table, we lean back into child pose. If child pose is not for you and your knees don't like that, just arch that lower back a little bit. Come into that, or round your lower back and come into cat pose. And if you stay here in child pose, rest the head down, stretch the arms forward, engage those abs to get a little bit more of a stretch in your lower back. And slowly come back up into table. And from table, we come back onto the floor, lower down onto the floor. Wiggle those hips and then lift the head with the next inhale into baby cobra. From here, we're going to turn the head over to the left and over to the right. And slowly lower down and rest your head on one side again. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift back up. And if you like, you can stay here. You can also bring your hands right beside your body. And stay here, lift the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and lower the head down again on one side. If you like, stay here, do the same thing again, or bring your hands onto your lower back, engage, or not engage, interlace your fingers, and then with them, take a deep breath in, exhale out, and then again with the next inhale, lift all the way up and lift your arms. If you like, you can also lift your legs. You don't have to, the legs can rest on the floor. If you lift the legs up, stay here and lift a little higher. Open up the chest, let the whole back body work. And now slowly, with control, we lower down onto the floor, rest the head, wiggle those hips, bend the knees, go to the left and to the right, and stretch the legs back out, press into the hands, come back into table. And from table, one more time, into child pose. Or, as I said, if you don't like child pose, come into cat pose. And now from here, we come back up into table. We tuck the toes under and we come into our first downward dog. Tuck the toes under, lift, lift, lift. So we're gonna pedal the legs to open up the back. We walk our dog. Keep the knees bent a little. Keep the heels off the floor and just work on lifting those sit bones up high into the sky, towards the ceiling. Open up those shoulders. Your fingers are wide. Press all 10 knuckles into the floor and slowly walk that dog. And then lower your knees back down again onto the floor. And now we're going to lift. We slide the right knee in between the hands. If there is an issue with your knee and you have something close by, like a blanket or a towel, grab that right now and put it underneath it. But I promise we won't stay here for too long. So now we're gonna lower the hips down. I'm saying we're gonna a lot. I just realized that. Lower your hips down towards the floor. Open up that hip flexor. Open up the chest. Breathe here. You can stay here. You can also tuck the toes under and lift the knee just a little if the pressure on the kneecap is too much. Then if you're ready, if you want to, bring your hands onto the knee, push the knee away. Stay here for a moment, work on that hip flexor. If you like, you can lift up one arm or maybe two arms. Stretch all the way up. Bring your hands behind your body, interlace the fingers behind you, and open up the chest. If this is a little too much, stay here or here or here. And slowly lower the arms back down, bring the hands onto the floor, slide your right foot back. Tuck your toes under and come back into downward facing dog. Lift those hips up high. The knees can still be bent. The heels don't have to touch the floor. You just push towards the floor. Breathe here. Slowly lower your knees back down. Now we slide that left foot forward and lower the hip down towards the floor. Make sure again your foot is, or your ankle is right underneath the knee or a little forward. Make sure it's not here and you're not doing this. That's a little too much pressure for the whole knee. Open up the chest. If you have blocks, of course, you can use your blocks. And then from here, we will bring the hands onto the knee, push the knee away, straighten the front. Breathe. If you like, bring one arm up, bring the other arm up. You can also come into a slide back bend, just if you feel like it. We can also bring the hands behind the body and open up the chest. Breathe. Slowly relax the arms, bring the hands back right in front of you, slide back into table. Tuck your toes under and lift back up into downward facing dog. Breathe here. As I said before, the knees don't have to be straight, the heels don't have to touch the floor, but try to open up the chest, the shoulders, and lift those sit bones up high. And then from here, walk slowly your feet towards your hands and come into a forward fold. Let the head then go down, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Bend your knees a little, just a little so they're not locked. And then inhale halfway up, shoulders away from the ears, exhale forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale forward. Now reverse wonder. Bring the arms to the side and lift all the way up. And bring the hands in front of your chest. So I can see my head is cut off. You cannot see my head. Let me see if I can push this a little. Not that you need to see my head for this one. You need to see only my legs. So let's see. Okay. Is that better? Yes. Okay. So where was I? Yes, we come to King Dancer because we open up the front of the hip and we open up the shoulder. Okay. So if you have something like I can cheat very nicely with my wall here. If you feel like you're wobbly, step off your mat and step onto the floor. And if you have something where you can hold on to, please take use of it. So now we're going to bring the weight into the right leg. Put your hands onto your hips and see how the rest of your body feels, right? Or tall, long spine. And then you lift your left foot behind you and hold on to that left foot. So for many of us, this is already a challenge, right? So if you are here and this is it, then stay here. We focus on opening up the knee and we use the weight of the foot to open up that left shoulder. If you feel like, no, I'm here and I cannot reach any higher, maybe you can grab a towel or something else and hold on to the foot. Push the foot into your left hand and then see if both knees, maybe your knee is here. So bring the knee back. And then if you're ready and if you want to do that, you can lift your right arm. And as we keep pushing that left foot into the left hand to open up the left shoulder, we can lift that leg behind us. And we use the upper body and the right arm as a counterbalance. Look at something that is not moving and keep breathing. And open up that left side, knee, hip, shoulder. Bend your right knee just a tiny bit so it's not locked. Breathe. And slowly lower back down and let the foot go. Shake everything out. And just for a moment, close your eyes. Stand here and feel the difference between the left side and the right side. Take a breath. And then open your eyes again. Bring your weight into your left leg. And hold on to your right foot. This side might feel different. Maybe it's a little easier. Maybe it's a little harder. And then again, if you feel like your knee is all the way here, bring it right beside the other one. And then if you want to stay here, you stay here. Push the right foot into your right hand and feel how that opens your right shoulder. Breathe. And then if you like, you can lift the left arm. And as you keep pushing the right foot into your right hand, you can lift that right leg up and use the upper body and the left arm as a counterbalance. So my right side feels much easier than the left. Maybe you have the same. And breathe. And then slowly, if you feel like you spend an equal amount of time on both sides, relax everything down to the floor. And then close your eyes just for another moment. And see, observe how your body feels. The time is running. All right. So just another hip opener for now. Bring your hands onto your hips. And then bring your right foot either on top, the heel, on top of your left. So that opens up your hip very nicely. Drop your shoulders down. You can also see if you might find it okay to put your foot on the inside of your calf muscle. And if you wobble, that's quite okay. Those little muscles work. You can also bring your hands in front of your chest. Breathe here. You can also bring the arms all the way on top of towards the ceiling. I can hold on to my ceiling. If you want, you can have your leg all the way up here. I can't. My leg is, my knee doesn't like that. So I stay here. And then bring your hands in front of your chest again. Lift your right knee, flex that foot, put it back down. Hands onto your hips and bring your left foot on top of the right. If you like it here, stay here. Enjoy that opening in your hip. If you feel like you want a little more, you can put the foot on the inside of the calf muscle. Or if you like, bring it up here, up to you. And then bring the hands in front of your chest. And if you feel like it, bring the arms all the way up towards the sky. Tree pose. Drop the shoulders. And then slowly bring the hands in front of your chest. Oops. And bend the knee, flex your foot, and bring the foot down and shake everything out. Let's come to the front of the mat again. Lift your arms all the way up, forward, forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale forward. Bring your hands beside your feet. Walk your feet all the way back into downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog. So push the heels towards the floor and the knee towards straight. It doesn't have to be that way, just go for that direction. And breathe here. And then slowly bend the knees and lower yourself down. Swing the legs around and stretch your legs out in front of you. And then from here, we come into staff pose. Take the fleshy bits off the sit bones, flex your feet, very active staff pose. Long spine all the way from down the floor to the top of the head. And then we're gonna bend the right knee and bring that right foot over to the left side of your left knee. Wrap your left arm around that right knee. Bring the right hand behind you and come into the seated spinal twist. Again, work with your breathing. So inhale tall, exhale twist. Slowly untwist. Stretch your right leg out. Come back into staff pose. And then we bring the left knee in. Bring the left foot over on the other side of the right leg. Wrap the right arm around the left knee and bring the left hand behind. And turn the head a little bit towards the left shoulder. Breathe and slowly untwist. Take your time and then slowly lie down for Shavasana. Make yourself as comfortable as you can, and I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to sit here and talk you through it. So if you have a blanket and you want to use it for the head, or maybe roll it up and put it underneath your knees, or maybe on top of your belly. Just make yourself as comfortable as you can and lie down on your back. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through your mouth with a sigh. Everything is done. Let's do this one more time. Relax your shoulders down to the floor. Maybe you rock the head from side to side just to find that sweet spot. And when you're ready, start to relax your toes, your ankles, your calf muscles. Relax the back of the knees, the top of the knees, your thighs, your hamstrings, your hips. Allow your legs to become heavy. Soften the belly and your chest. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back. Relax your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, all 10 fingers. Allow your arms to become heavy. Relax the back of your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, temples. Unhinge the jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth. Soften your lips, your eyes, and the space between the eyebrows. Now slowly bring your attention back to your mat, back to your body. Start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms, all in slow motion and gentle. And then bring your right knee into your chest. Bring your left knee into your chest and roll over onto the right side. Stay here for another moment. Rest your head on your arm. And whenever you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. Take your time. And when you're ready, bring the hands in front of the chest. Lower the chin towards the chest. And thank yourself for coming here. I thank you for coming. Namaste.